Hello, good evening, Mohammed. Good evening, Nikhil. Hello, hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mohammed. Good evening, Nikhil.
Good evening.
Right. Yeah. I'm Kumar. I think I'm meeting you all for the first time on the strategic case study. All right.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So let's start off. I think we have some more students to join, but let me just quickly introduce myself. I'm from Sri Lanka, and I have been doing these case studies, top CIMA for a long time, and I do all three. So basically, Anju has asked me to look at some of your areas. So today we are meeting for the first time, but we have a couple of sessions with y'all. I'm recording this session tonight, and after that you will be having it on the website also on the YouTube. Already I put up some one or two questions on the Dropbox, which we will probably try today. As we go along, you can always put it on the chat if you have any questions or anything, and we will try to work it through. So, can you see the screen now, both of y'all?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
Okay, thanks. Right. So if there's anything, just disturb me at any moment. So we are into this case study. Any of y'all, both of y'all have sat for the exam earlier on this case study, Mohammed? Nikki?
I have not.
Okay. Right. Mohammed, have you sat earlier?
Yes, I said for May, but I didn't pass. That's why I'm going for August.
Okay. Okay. So that's all right. So you sat for a Dream Park case study?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Okay, fine. Right. So I think Anju has already done little bit on the writing skills, all that kind of things. I'm not going to go lot of details, but what you all must know is we have 4 skills being tested: technical skills, business skills, leadership skills, and people skills. So basically, in the strategic case study, we have to get in all 4 areas 25% each. So we believe all of y'all will be in a position to get that through. So few little tips from all my experience. Always, when you're writing an answer, try to put up some models. Always. So some of the famous models we have is the SWOT analysis. We have the what we have porters. We have the pesters. We have many of those models what we know already from your E3, E2. You can put up all those things. And when it comes to the F3, all about the net present value analysis, internal rate of return, mention those models wherever you are writing, Mendelow's matrix, those things will carry you that 25% marks. Business skills is you are a very senior manager in this company. You remember you are reporting to the board of directors. So always, whatever you say should be very practical. Something it's implementable. Thirdly, it's all about the people skills. It's all about communication. We are surely accountants, but we must remember that in this particular case, we are dealing with mostly academics. The people who are not really business people, although they are in business, none of them seems to be in the accounting except the finance lady, but all the others seem to be academics. So we have to be properly communicating all the time. Then the leadership skills is all about your recommendations, whatever that you make, whether they ask a recommendation or not, you must make a recommendation. And that recommendation should be something very, very responsible. You are advising this board of directors at the very top level. So my advice for all of you all is don't think this ever as an exam. Think this as a very practical work experience what you and I find in most of the time in the business world. So basically, you have this case study given 6 weeks earlier, basically for you to get familiarized with the entire organization. You become part of this AEN and you are a part of the company. So all the time you should be looking for this company as your company for next 6 weeks, and when you go for the exam, on that particular day, some issue has come up and they are asking you how to handle this particular situation. That is the way you should be always looking at this paper. Excuse me, I have a very bad cough today. Just be bearing. So basically, you must always remember, forget this as an exam. The moment you think it as an exam, it's a huge stress on you. Just think you're working in this company, try to think in the basic common sense all the time. Remember, you know your knowledge, you have your models, you have your knowledge, but the solutions what you are going to give is something very practical, very realistic, very responsible, and it should be communicated in such a way that the people will feel, wow, Mahalingam knows about it. Mahalingam is very happy about it. Nikhil is happy about it, right? Swati is happy about it. That kind of a thing. If your company, wherever you are working, if your company is going through a good period, you as a very senior person will be very happy about that company. On the other hand, if your company is a company where going through some difficult period, you as a senior manager will be very, very sad and emotional about the company. People skills is that. If your CEO is calling you and saying, hey, Nikhil, we are going to have a, some expansion, you must be jumping at it. You must be very happy about it. You must express that happiness in your writing, in your movement. If some problem has cropped up and if there is a press article about some nasty article about your company, and if they say that, you're not, the company is down or something like that, Mohammed must be very sad about it. That must come up in your this day.
Kumar, I have a small question for you.
Yeah.
Just that, Mr. in my office, I just want to understand a bit about the visibility of our schedule today. So can you quickly tell us what exactly will we be covering in our class for today?
Today, I'm basically trying to cover up the race and part of the ethics.
Okay.
Right? So, in fact, what I'm going to do is, from my class day 1, I will be starting with some questions. But before moving into questions, I just give a little bit of an introduction, how to approach this exam.
All right, thank you.
And what I'm going to do is actually, in all my sessions, I have about 4, 5, 6 sessions, I think, with you all. I will be looking mostly probable mock questions that can come up. I have no guarantee those questions will come up. But looking at some of the past papers, looking at this particular case study, and now we have experience about 6 case studies we have gone through from 2015. So looking at all those experiences, what I feel is that we may have a certain areas being tested on this paper. So I'm trying my very best to, put up something, but that's not the end. You all also will have to do a lot of work. You all will have to sort of try to pick up many areas from the pre-scene. So your Bible for next 6 weeks will be the pre-scene. You must get the pre-scene right into the deep of your head, and you must know when they say who is Luke, who is Fiona, who is Isabel. You must know them by heart, because in the exam you are time stretched for this paper. 60 minutes in the section 1, you have to do everything in 60 minutes. So a few things which I want to look at from this company. Probably I think you had discussed this company a lot. It's a private company. Right at the moment, from all the information we have, it's not yet a listed company. They may think of going for listing very soon, because we are in 2016. The company was formed in 2000, so they may think of going for listing very soon. So this is one area which I want you all to think about it. Maybe about the listing issues, placement, private placement, all that kind of thing, because surely this company will require a lot of money in time to come. I don't know, I'm sure that most of you all have gone through this case study. How many of have you all started from your financial analysis? I'm actually more focused on the financial analysis area, but I will look at almost all round in this paper. I want to look at pre-sale very quickly. Into the financial analysis, you can see the figures what we have is for the 31st March 2016. So we are sitting the exam in August. So we are just 5 months away from the financial year. Compared to the managerial case study, where the financials are given for 30th of September 2015. But here we have the financials right up to 31st March 2016. So we are just 5 months away from the financial year. Maybe there are few changes happening. I want you to note down few changes, provided you all have a little bit of a notebook or something. Some of the things which I have spotted on this case study. I want you to look at the statement of financial position. Look at the software. Look at the software. 2015, they had 16.2 million written down value. 2016, 18.9 million. Remember, we are in a company which is making alternative energy sources, and one of the energy sources, they are very expertise is on the windmills or wind energy. So for that, they must be using particular software, whatever, and it has a book value of 18.9. What I want you to look at is the next 3 months figures, what they are given us. April, May, June, they are given us some figures. Management accounting. I want you to look at the software amortization. I don't know whether how many of you all have spotted this one. 14.9, first 3 months already amortized. Did any of us spotted that one? 14.9 already amortized out of 18.6. Out of 18.9 in the first 3 months. Now, what does that tell us? It is telling our software is almost outdated, completely gone. And what is it telling us? We probably will have to go for an updated software project in 2016. In 2016, 2017, we may have to go for a software updated project. So, something for you all to think about on project evaluation, NPV calculations. Remember, in the strategic case study, those who are sitting for the first time, no calculations. Compared to your top CIMA and all that what we had earlier, no calculations. All the calculations will be done by the examiner. We need only to evaluate. Now, whenever you are evaluating NPV project, I will always try to encourage you all to put up always, wherever possible, put up the Johnston and Scholes.
Sorry, what is this?
Johnston and Scholes, suitability.
Can you please elaborate on this thing, Johnston?
Yeah, I mean, I'll come to it in a minute. So, in your E3, you would have learned a model to evaluate projects called Johnston and Scholes, SCHOLES, suitability, acceptability, and feasibility. So, whenever we have an NPV project to evaluate, or for that matter, any project for evaluation, this is a good model which you can use. And with this model, if you speak about the model, and if you work on the model, you will probably get out of that 25% marks for technical skills, at least 15% you will get. This is a good model. I encourage everyone to go to your E3 studies. I'm sure you all would have done this one. Anyone who can remember this model? Johnston and Scholes, suitability, acceptability, feasibility.
No, this is the first time hearing this.
Oh, no, you must have done your E3. In E3, it should be there always. Right? Sorry. Before you come to the case study, you have gone 20 minutes, all right, don't worry. Just take your E3 books, read it, and try to go to the Google. I will also try, if I possible, I will try to work out a note and send it to you all. Get this model into your very head. This is a very, very important model to be used in our strategic case study for all of you all. Suitability means any project you must look at whether the project is in line with the strategy of the company. Right? Remember, you are at a strategic level. So you are always thinking long-term strategic direction of the company. Remember, always at strategic level, you are a board member, or you are sitting with the board members. You are not just an accountant. That era is gone for you. That was in the management. We are a very senior person. You sit with the board, you lunch with the CEO, you dine out with the CEO. That is the mentality you must build up for this case study. Is it clear for you all?
Yep.
Yeah. So suitability means always any project you must see whether it is in line with our strategy. Now, for example, you must be thinking to expand. Now this company, I think it's in a country called Breezeland. You must be thinking of expanding your business to China. Maybe. I'm just thinking, right? You must be thinking, because China is a big country where there is a lot of energy needs. You may be thinking of going into China, and that is in your strategic action plan as a strategic objective to divert it into China. That may be something the examiner might tell you in the exam. Now, suddenly you might find one of your fellow directors coming and saying, hey, Mahalingam, we want to go to Europe. We have got a project to go to Europe. Now, that may not be in line with your strategic direction. Strategic direction, what you have told your shareholders, is that you want to go to China. So going to some other place is not in strategic fit. Maybe your company has decided that you are not going to get involved wherever there is any corruption, that kind of thing. Now, suddenly some person comes and says that there's a particular country where there's there's a lot of business, but the ministers are very corrupt. They want money, and you will say, very sorry, we are not going there because that is not suitable for us, because that is not in line with our code of ethics. That is what we mean suitability. Always you must look at a project where it is suitable for us to do it. Some companies, they decide they are not going to be in the industries connected with any environmental pollution. So there, again, you might say it is not suitable. Acceptability is the acceptability you have to look at from all the stakeholders' point of view. Fundamentally, the shareholders. So, is the project going to be a positive NPV project? If not, the shareholders will not be interested. It is not acceptable to the shareholders. you have to look at from the employees. You want to move out to another country. What about the employees? Are they prepared to go out? Relocation. What about the unions? So, the lenders, they may not be prepared to give you money to go to a country where there is a civil war. So, acceptability is that. Feasibility is the resource availability. You have to always remember, whenever we want to expand, we need money. So, remember in this company, as at 2016, we had 4.2 million money. Now, you might find a project that is going to need 100 million. Right? Remember, the software project will be about 35-40 million. You may not have money. So, what are we going to do it? So, they will ask advice. You are the advisor. They will ask advice from you on these areas. Then maybe your technical capacity. You may not have people, because remember, this company, we are very good in windmills, but we may not have capacity to do the other areas. So, you may want to talk about that kind of thing. So this project, this model is a very, very important model which I want you all to go through, study it, because this is one model which our earlier top CIMA we used it very effectively. Some model which were used in the strategic case study for last 5-6 case studies, and which has brought good results for all of us. So remember this model, remember the Porter's 5 forces, remember the SWOT analysis, remember the pestle analysis, remember the ANSOF matrix. These models, you need lots of E3 stuff to get through this paper, because 25% of your marks are for the technical skills. I don't know whether you all are aware, this paper is marked out of 150. This paper is marked out of 150, and any one of you to get through the paper, you need to get 90 out of 150. 60% is the pass mark, 90 out of 150. And that 25% mark.
I'm sorry, my understanding was that we are marked for 100 marks. Then there is an internal method by CIMA that we go from 100 to 150 by a multiplier.
Yeah, that is actually they are doing it through us. They are doing it through something which they call a software, or the marking is done through a software. So they have 4 skills what they are checking. I'll tell you that one. They are checking us on 4 skills: technical, business, leadership, people skills. So they give you marks 150, equal percentage 37.5. Is the mark. So each of these competencies you must get 60%. So 22.5 you have to get on each of these areas. Actually you have to get 90, but only thing, now I have had students getting 96 and coming down in the exam, because on the technical skills they have collected already 25. The business skills they have collected 30. But leadership skills they came down, they got only 20.
Yeah, we have this thing is covered. Yeah, we have covered this.
Okay, right. So people skills they may get 20, 55, and still you can fail the exam. So these are few things which we need to know. Now coming back to your case study, you would have realized this company is very much on the wind activity. But in the pre-scene, you would have seen they are given lots of information about other alternative energy. And the company name is Alternative Energy Network. Right? So what I feel is how the most of the examiners feel it the same way. You can see they are given us lot of alternative energy sources. But they are mostly in the windmill activity, and in the SWOT analysis they are put as one of their weak points this area, because they are dependent on one source of income, and that is the windmill area. So probably there is a question that will come up for all of you all about any one of these areas: power, heat pumps, solar, biomass, or any of those things. They might get a project coming into them, and they might want that to be evaluated. So my first question to you all, I have put it in your Dropbox, but I'm putting it on your screen now. Remember, your case study is made up of 3 sections. You will not see the second section till you complete the first section. So you don't have any idea what is going to be the second section till you complete the first section. Normally we have seen 60, 63 hours. It can be 60, 75, 45. For reading, answering, everything, you have only 60 minutes for the first section maybe. So I'm going to put up a mock for you all, just for you all to read it. Already this is in your Dropbox. I put it here for you all to read it and just to get your ideas, and we are together, we are going to look at this, how to approach this question. So this is the following email from Fiona. So you must remember who is Fiona. Fiona is your finance director, and you are the senior manager. It's all about a new biomass proposal. Remember, we are a consultancy company. What we do is basically we advise the other people on mostly on the windmill, and that is where our success is. We have 3 sections, 3 divisions: the legal, public relations, and the engineering. And we are working on a matrix structure where one account manager will coordinate all 3 activities. The client can take all 3 activities, or client can take either one of the activities or 2 activities. So here we have a proposal coming up, and your finance director is talking to you, and he's sending you an email. So this is early morning. When you go to office, this is what you might see. Luke, remember Luke is the CEO. Now in this company, you would have realized all these 4 people, the 4 founders are academics. 3 academics in the energy area, 1 on the legal area. All are academics. So this is another area which I want you all to think about. This board may need some recomposition. It does not have too many business people in the board. So maybe they might think of going for listing and appointing non-executive directors with some business experience. True enough, they have done well. They have done so well. 16 years they have done, but they may be able to do better with right business skills in the board of directors. Remember, the corporate governance talks about the effectiveness of board. The board of directors must be very, very strong people with mix of skills. Right. So Luke is the CEO. Remember, he was in charge of engineering division, and last 2 years back, he was promoted as the CEO. Remember, this company does not have a company chairman. It does not have any non-executive directors because it's an unlisted company. There is no necessity, but it's always good for a growing company to have a chairman separated from the CEO. So these are a few areas I want you to open up your mind in this paper. Okay, looking at this question, has received a proposal from BioAim concerning a proposal to develop a biomass power station in a state-owned land in Breezeland, closer to the main forest of Breezeland. As you know, for past 2 years, we have been keenly involved in projects that use other alternative energy sources, and biomass is one of those. So remember in your pre-sale, they say they have been keenly involved in doing a lot of research on this area for past 2 years. Biomass is essentially wood and other organic waste that can be burned into a suitable incinerator. The resulting heat makes steam, which drives an electricity generator.